February 6, 2025. Like I said in my last video, if you, how many scams the Florida drug cartel runs? If you listen to Sheriff Grady in Florida give a lecture on the Florida drug cartel, they run scams on people all the time. And they run such bad scams on people that the law enforcement don't believe them. And time the law enforcement finds out they're being scammed, they actually have to go in and rescue the people because the people don't trust law enforcement then. That they'll have up to 100 people watching 14 at one time to make sure law enforcement don't help them. This is typical of the Florida drug cartel. See, that's where they ran so many scams on me. It was absolutely ridiculous. Memorial Day weekend 2019. The police will have a tape of an old heavyset white woman, white hair, in Walmart 62. She'll scream out, "For it's my daughter her husband dates. He met her in Ravenna at a store. For it's my daughter. They did all this for her, and our family watching her doing this." She showed up several times during the case. Okay? And on March 13, 21, I told you I had migraine headaches from being bashed in the back of the head. Felt like half my head was going to explode for over 2 years. Okay? So I went into the emergency room and at Altman Hospital. She's there. The lady that claimed she was Michelle's mother. Okay? And she's with the people impersonating the FBI. Got in the back with fake badges. You know, you can buy an FBI badge and credentials for like $25, $50 on Amazon. That's why you call it in. Make the police verify it. You trust no man. Okay? That's the day that when I went in there, they were still, okay, 12/20, it should be 12/21/18. I went and got a shower, got a house coat on, thought I was home alone, went to get something to drink out of the refrigerator. I'm stabbed in the neck, bashed in the back of the head, beaten, raped, and left for dead. I was out for over 6 hours. I had migraine headaches for 2 years. Felt like half my head was going to explode. My ears would ring and buzz. It was horrible. And at times, I mean, well, you can still feel the back of my head. It's the size of a ball peen hammer, an imprint. They said my skull is dented in far enough. It should have killed me. But I stutter now when I get upset. And it's from the head injury. But to cover up the attempted murder and rape, because I didn't die, they told everybody, oh, they chipped her. People fell for it. My neighbor, Amy, even told my boyfriend, Carl, that she heard him laugh outside that they made it up that they chipped me. She even heard him. Okay? And laughing about it. And, you know, big businesses out west, it's a puppy shop. You can go on Google which ones use microchips to get in and out. There's a whole list. Okay? You just scan in and out of your computer, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All right. And so the thought that somebody would actually violate me like that, but these people are human trafficking me. I went to this one place I occasionally go to a doctor for, the RN nurse that works there. And, you know, I had been telling her a lot about the crap that had been going on. And she told me that she was on online chat. And the people that human traffickers were raping and releasing, they were telling people they chipped them. So, and they told them that the police could never hide them, that they could find them anywhere. If they tell that they were raped, they could find them anywhere. They couldn't hide them. It was a scam to keep rape victims quiet from them. And I wasn't the only one they were doing it to. Okay? And they were telling everyone. Well, I get in the back of Altman Hospital and Dr. Alan Antinez comes in. And when he goes to leave, there's a guy outside my room. He's lying to him. Okay? On March 13, 21, I go to use the bathroom. The nurse is on the phone with that weird Eric that was wanted by the Massillon police for stalking me. Him and a Steve. Okay? They're part of that drug cartel. He called that phone for the hospital, and the nurse picked it up, and she's badmouthed me. Eric, I know you said you taped her before, da 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 da. That's illegal for her to do that. Talk about a patient that's there. Okay? I go use the bathroom. I go in, and I go back to my room, and I'm so mad I can't see straight. Well, security walks by, calls me bad names. I leave. I go over to Mercy Medical. I tell him my ex-husband tried to have me killed and they're running scams on me. And having people harass me. If someone shows up, this is what's going on. And that's when a lady comes in. No man was ever to touch her. Nurse comes in laughing. The only thing they had you on was adjusting yourself. The guy said that's sick. Said, no, it's funny. She simply wiped off water with clothes on. He said, that's sick. Said, no, she just simply brushed it off. They didn't have anything else. It's actually funny. Okay. Well, then after, March 1st to 3rd of 21, they said they put two clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. Okay? And then after March 13, 21, they started saying, you touch yourself, you expose yourself, you touch yourself, look weird. Well, that's not brushing off water with clothes on. Anybody would do that. Crumbs, chips, water, anything. Okay? That's a simple action everybody does. Okay? Well, I was so upset. My stomach bled. Okay? I thought they did what else to me? Then I thought, well, they said it's clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. Okay? And I thought, well, they put my head on somebody else's body. Then I thought, well, what would you be doing? It sounds like if you expose your, touch yourself, expose yourself, you're undressing. You touch yourself, look weird, but not weird. What are you doing? You could be putting yeast infection cream on. Or did you get undressed and get in the shower and you're washing yourself? Even my friend Matt said it sounds like you're washing yourself. You have to wash yourself sometime or you'll stink. And I said, well, I got showering. I went outside to smoke and they were laughing at me. She figured out what they did. May 12th, 22 at noon. They found a tape of them emitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26th, 22 at noon. The shower scene was done on purpose to make you look weird, and then on and on and on laughing at me. But just like where that RN nurse told me, it was on online chat, that if anybody comes in and says anything like that, that the human traffickers that said that to him, tell him it's a scam to keep him quiet. You know, where even Amy, my neighbor, had heard him laugh, that they made it up. She told my boyfriend Carl, said they were outside laughing about it one day. See, they used to yell stuff at my apartment. She'd wake me up the next morning. They were out there again at 3 o'clock in the morning screaming stuff at your apartment. I said, what am I supposed to do about it? Call the police on them. What am I supposed to do about it? You couldn't even walk out of your apartment at night without them screaming stuff at you. I had a client on another street. His girlfriend spent the night with him, said I could hear him screaming clear on the other street at your apartment. It woke me up at 3 in the morning. What am I supposed to do about it? See, just like they photoshopped a shower scene in their stocking tapes, you click and paste the action in another room. Just like date rape drugs, amnesia drugs, like they roofied my neighbor Mike in the bar. He came up to me. I got a problem. I don't know how I got home. I'm like, go sleep it off. Kept saying it. What do you remember? The second beer, go sleep it off. You don't understand. I've been sitting there for hours. He said, I even have money in my pocket. I don't know where it came from. It's like, well, you need to check your bank. He checked his bank. He took 100 out. He said, well, that explains the money, but what was in the box with mustard and how did I change my shoes? It's just like, I don't know what's wrong with me. He lost the whole night. I am like, go sleep that off. And then he looks at me playing his day. I used to be a New York cop and you're pretty. I'm like, go sleep that off. He's like, you want to go cuddle? I'm like, seriously, go sleep it off. I told him later on, a while later, he told me he was a New York cop. He started laughing. I don't remember saying that. He said, I went back down to the bar and they said in the middle of the second beer, I started telling everybody I was an astronaut. They're fake sodium pentothal reports. I worked at Ohio Catholic in August of 19. They did a drug test. I go upstairs. The manager's complaining. She was so full of drugs. Okay? It would have knocked out a horse. It was Valium mixed with a bunch of other stuff, and going on about it. Nobody's allowed to say a word to her because she's supposed to be helping the FBI with the case. Oh, they fooled so many people with sodium pentothal reports. They have true serum. Pure sodium says, what? It's like drugged and told to say, what? Would you like being played with, you ignorant morons? Would you like someone to stab you in your sleep until you say something stupid or roofie a drink? Would you want that to happen to you? Think about it. Would you want that to happen to you? Somebody lace your Diet Coke when you're out of the room, you don't even know they're in your home, and the room go dizzy and black. Come out of it hours later with bruises all over you, throwing up, heart racing, almost passing out, and severely infected. The only thing new to you is that new house. And the water looks like orange poop water. And I'm going to the doctor. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? I got all these bruises. Even Jen's seen them. Orange, lemon, grapefruit-sized bruises all over me. I almost passed out in front of the neighbor by the second week. Kept saying, I don't know what's wrong with me. And my heart was racing through my neck. They were drugging the hell out of me up there. Okay? My doctor's like, did you fall? And I said, no. I don't know where they came from. Maybe you're coming anemic. We'll get you some iron pills. I said, my muscles really hurt. Do you know how bad it hurts to be beat that bad? Give me muscle relaxers for pain. It's like I got a migraine, a headache. I've been thrown up. I almost passed out. We'll get you some for headaches and something for nauseousness. The well water is really dirty. I said we bring bottled water in to cook and drink, but I have to wash my hands after I use the bathroom, and I have to take a fast shower. But my personal area is so swollen, I can't hardly pee. I had to be examined. Had to be put on pills and creams. Here I'm being drugged, beaten, raped in my own home. Drugged up and told to say stuff by drug dealers playing a scam on me. And photoshopping of washing in the other room. It's clicking and pasting. People act like we live in the 1960s and 1970s, that they've never heard of photoshopping. Never heard of it? You know, I was at a client's house and they had it on the news. We are so tired of people photoshopping people in scenery and scenes and words out of sentences and other sentences so it makes it look like they're saying something they didn't. And we're tired of people playing with people like this. I looked at my client, I guess I'm not the only one. But these people were actually drug beating, raping me. And it was a drug cartel playing with me. A big drug scam. Officer Mark August of 23 on a Tuesday. Should be around the 17th, something like that. 22nd, something like that. Was out in Cole's parking lot. He said none of this is funny. The lady said, did her ex-husband defend her? Yes, we taped him. So did anybody ever talk to her? No. Then they had to frame her. It's been documented and verified she was framed before. Was it the drug cartel? Yes, we've seen them. So who framed me? The drug cartel. And it was also documented and verified it was a medication error that made her sick before, and another woman was even using her insurance. She's like, none of this is funny. He said, I know it's not. See, that agent where a lady showed up in Alliance said, I listened to a tape of what she said about one of her clients, even heard them say something about finding the FBI case in the Stark County Courthouse. Oh yeah, it's there. Said, I went down, I found it. Oh, I know it's there. Stark County Sheriff's in uniform will tell you they help watch me. They document everything every day for the FBI case. So they documented those people saying they were FBI. Lying to Dr. Allen and Tina's. Lying to everyone. They did, didn't they? Then laughing how they made it up. Just scams. Just like they would pay off a dirty doctor to say something bad about me, that cult, my ex-husband, had a dirty doctor in their pocket. HIPAA violations. None of your doctors can talk to even your spouse without your permission, let alone a cult. They can't work for them. HIPAA violations, like that lady said. It's not even funny. They said they had a dirty doctor. They'd all end up in jail. No, it's not. It's 1 to 5 years and a $250,000 fine. I could sue you for $1.5 million. See, these people run scams of everything that you could never get away with. Ever get away with. Like HIPAA violations. Like right to privacy. See, that's where my one friend, his sister is a sitting judge in Ohio. She said they can run around and tell people they were in her home before, but the day they prove it to law enforcement, they are to arrest them. Cyber stalking is a federal crime with button cameras. It's a felony invasion of privacy. And then you've got kitty porn and my grandkids going potty. Michelle, that girl that showed up at Faith Family Church, says she was Judge Peter's daughter. She admitted to taping in the bathroom. Her group admitted to selling kitty porn and my grandkids going potty. Sell me on porn sites. Using the bathroom, showering with Dave. They're the ones that admitted they put a shower scene in the other room. That's where that Steve and Eric come from. That they talked about. Stop Maslin Police. In October and November 21, I was at Maslin Altman Emergency Room. It's a little stack care emergency room on Wells Road. Okay. I go in with a client. Maslin officer in uniform comes in. I'm here to watch her. There's a Steve and Eric stalking her, and we don't know who they are yet. And after everything they did, nothing's admissible. It's actually got funny. Okay? It's a right to privacy. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statement. See where they said they had special permission from the courts? There's no such thing. The right of the people to be safe and secure within your own person. Okay? Your places, your homes, your papers, and effects against all unreasonable searches or seizures shall not be violated. What did it say? Your home can't be violated. No searches, no seizures, but upon probable cause. Warranted, you have to have a court order with an oath or affirmation. That's the Fourth Amendment. The fifth of you have the right to remain quiet. 6, to a right to an attorney. Okay? All right. Because of those 3 rights, police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements and a court order. Like Officer Reinhardt in Louisville, I was telling him about having the bruises, throwing up, and they're lying. They have sodium pentothal reports, and they're supposed to drug me and told me to say weirdo stuff. He started giggling. I said they photoshopped a shower scene in the other room to make me look weird. He started giggling. He said, I don't care what they say. He said, until that agent took your statement and agreed to protect you and had statements of threat of life from everyone in that home, even the FBI would go to jail for being in your home. It's illegal to be in somebody's home, and it's illegal to look and listen. That's what the Portage County Sheriff said. He had to have a court order, too. These people are just bullshitting people. Somebody around January 5th, 25, in Walmart 62, he was behind me. He's like, we've got to hold Officer Mark. And they're just fooling these people. They can actually do any of this. They're just scamming them. Everything's a scam. It is. For everything's a lie. And the only way to beat him is to do the right thing. He thinks everybody is dishonest. And the only way to beat him is to do the right thing. They warned me that in Ravenna. Okay? Now, we're going to talk a little more. Do you realize how many scams they've ran on me? How many scams? Drugs and told to say stuff. Never seen or talked to anybody for the FBI. I'd be perfectly fine. I would come in from working outside, wash my hands, make something to eat and drink, go use the bathroom. Come in, I'd wash my hands and then come in and sit down, take a drink in the room, go to Sam Black. Hours later, it'd come out of it. It's like, what on earth? I had bruises all over me, almost passing out, throwing up, and then a severe personal infection, wake up with injection marks and more. Go to the doctor, what on earth is wrong with me? You know, I was talking to the doctor, I said, I almost thought I had E. coli in the water. She said, you know, if it did have E. coli in the water, it would have made you that sick. But it had iron. It didn't have E. coli. We had it tested. High levels of iron. Do you know how you beat people from scamming you? You tell the truth. You tell the truth. And when you tell the truth of what's really going on, that's why they don't want you to say anything. Because then their scams are debunked. When you realize their scams are so outrageous, they're unbelievable. There's no such thing as special permission. There's no such thing as sodium pentothal reports. Spy flick movie stuff. And they're not chipping people like they said. That nurse said on online chat. They were telling everybody that they were raping and releasing. That if they chipped them, that law enforcement couldn't hide them anywhere. They could find them anywhere. And it's to keep the rape victims quiet, they released. So they're too afraid of them. Like I said, if you listen to Sheriff Grady down in Florida, the Florida human traffickers run scams on people, so law enforcement don't help them. And when they realize they're being scammed, then they actually have to go in and rescue the people because the victims don't trust them. And they'll have up to 100 people watching 14 at one time. They're running scams on. Up in Portage County, the drug cartel is very heavy. If you go on the Portage County Sheriff's Facebook page, they send out fake arrest. Now, if you're going to have arrest warrant, are the cops going to mail it to you and say, hey, we're coming for you? Fair warning? No. They show up with a squad car and cuffs. They mailed out ones with $80,000 fines and surcharges, ordered by Judge Paul and Officer Thomas. There's no Judge Paul, there's no Officer Thomas. Just like they were doing another scam with, they're impersonating the Portage County Sheriffs and more judges up there. And different scams. They're scamming everyone they can. I talked to a U.S. Marshals kid at my storage unit. I said, it looks like you're moving out. I said, would you mind helping me? I can't find my storage unit. And she was real nice. She helped me. She said she had a boyfriend of 8 years. She found out he was cheating on her for the last 2. He came home from a strip club, apparently she didn't know he was at, and punched her in her face and broke her nose while she was asleep. Called 911. He was arrested. She said he pleaded down to a fine, and I have $10,000 worth of damage inside my nose. And she said, since then I've went to Jersey's. I took a drink, and the room went dizzy and black, and I don't know what happened to me. I'm like, you're sleepwalking with those. She's like, I know you are. Said I waited a while. I went to another bar, ordered a drink, and the same thing happened, and I ended up in the hospital. I don't know how I got out of the bar. And she said, I'm moving out of this area for safety. She said, I'm military, and my dad's a U.S. Marshal. And she said, I'm getting out of here. Okay? All right. So, my co-worker, Dar, there was a guy sitting outside our clients. I said, what's he doing out there? She said, oh, we're only friends. She said, but my friends keep an eye on me. I said, well, why? She said, well, I had a set of twins. One died. She said, my friends took me out for a friend's night out because I was sitting around crying. Got a babysitter for the surviving twin. She said they were trying to give me space because I'm sitting there grieving. And I ordered a drink from a bar. And I took a drink, and that's the last thing I remember. She said, my friends told me, though, that I just acted a little happy. And then I was talking and acting fine. A group of people they didn't know came up, and I left with them. But I was talking and acting fine. She said, I found myself in a puddle pee outside. Got myself home. I was really messed up. Throwing up, sick the whole next day. 2 months later, I went to the doctor. They said I was pregnant again, and I was arguing with them. I haven't had sex with anyone. How could I be pregnant? She said, it's not that I don't love my son, but I don't know what happened to me. Now, everybody knows about day rape, drugs, amnesia drugs. There's over 20 prescription drugs in high doses make you sleepwalk. Without all the illegal ones. They're right on Google. I put them on my Facebook. For all the ignorant people that it's funny that drug dealers are violating people in their homes and running scams on them. And it's documented. It was a drug cartel in my home before. By the police. And I'm framed in their drug scam of drugs and total sand, photoshopping and washing. And they also documented all these different scams they ran on me. Like one lady investigator said, with this case, we learned how the human traffickers work and what they do to people. We learned all things about them. And what to look for now. I'm going to blow this.